Hey guys, I am doing my first Project Unavoidable update, which is my first of 12 updates on my yearly goals. And so if you haven't already seen my last video about Project Unavoidable, it was a video where I outlined my 41 goals and intentions for the year. And every month I'm gonna stay accountable to these goals and to show you how I work through some of my bigger goals in life. So there's a lot to get through, but I'll just kind of race through some of the interesting points. So firstly, flexibility routine twice a week. So I've been doing well with that. I've been doing about 20-30 minutes stretching twice a week, and I've been mixing up what I'm trying to do, trying different things for my body. Still haven't found a routine that I love and want to commit to, but I'm interested in doing a stretching workshop at some point throughout the year to learn more about how I feel amazing in my body and get more into that, but that's been really cool. Training grip strength twice a week. So that, unfortunately, I had a little injury a couple of weeks ago in my elbow, and I decided to give it a rest for a couple of weeks, but that's something that I did do originally and I'm going to get back into. And I think these setbacks are going to happen. You know, I know if I'm honest, I probably could have done some more with that, even with that injury, but I just did decide to rest, and I am excited to kind of get back into that. And hopefully this week I can really start to push that again. Practicing meditation 5 times a week. So that's something that I've been really strict with. Every morning when I wake up, it's one of the first things that I do. If I don't, otherwise I might drink a glass of water. But other than that, I jump into a meditation, and I've been using the Waking Up with Sam Harris app. So I think it was about $60 for the year, but I'm really liking it. I wanted to commit to an app. I know there's Headspace and Calmed and 10% Happier, and there's all these different meditation apps out there. I've obviously got the Muse, if you've seen my meditation challenge, which tracks your brain activity. But I wanted to find something simple. I wanted to find something that was recommended by people that I respect. And I'm really enjoying that app. I'm about 30-40 days into the progress, and I feel like it has helped me be just more present. It has helped me be a little bit more relaxed and less anxious in environments where I might be uncomfortable. So I am really enjoying that and excited to see what a year feels like. So I'll keep you updated with that one. My physical goal, 92 kilos and 10% body fat. So at the end of the month, I was 87.5 kilos and 12.9%. So I've still got a long way to go, and I've got kind of monthly measures of where I need to be. And so I wrote this in red on my goals board because I think that I'm behind. Luckily, the last couple of weeks have been really good since finishing the month. And I started to lift some of my personal bests at the gym, which is such a good feeling. But I know that I'm really going to have to push myself, and I'm not going to be allowed to have too many off weeks and partying and things like that if I want to achieve that goal. So I do need to be pretty disciplined for it, but I would love to hit that goal. Next thing, 90-day social media entertainment cleanse. Haven't started that. Go to 6 soul meditation events. So I went to both an ecstatic dance. Static dance is kind of like a dance party with no drugs or alcohol, where you just dance very free. It's kind of like a music festival vibe, but just, you know, in a city. They're all over the world now. There's things called like No Lights, No Lycra, or 5 Rhythms. And they're quite a fun way to just to release, get out of your head and kind of get into your body. So that was quite fun. I also did a sound healing meditation weekend, which was quite interesting as well. Something again different. I'm really interested in exploring the meditation spiritual side of myself. So going to these events throws me into a new environment with new interesting people, and there's lessons to be learned in these environments. So I did really enjoy those events. Excited to keep going to those. Build Slingshot Academy. So we were about to launch Slingshot Academy, but we've decided to delay our launch slightly. And what's been really cool is we've started selling for Slingshot Academy. If you don't know what that is, that's my entrepreneurship program. The ultimate vision of this company is to be building a viable option for kids coming out of high school, university, or people that have just started their corporate careers that are hating it and want to learn entrepreneurship, but don't really know that transitional phase. So I really want to create something super valuable in that space. And it's been cool. We've seen a few sales come through. We've seen quite a good response. People loving the course content and what we've put together. So now it's just really about scaling up. How do we get a bunch of people ready for our first launch? And how do we make it amazing so that we get all of these referrals and grow our business from there? Generate 2 million views on YouTube. So last month I got 130,000. So a little bit behind, but I think that I'm not worried about that number. Get 200,000 subscribers in YouTube. I think that was a really ambitious goal now that I look at that number. So I ended the month with 71,000. I do think that something significant is going to happen through the year to be able to get that number, but it does give me something to work towards. But you know, that's going to be a challenge. do 5 YouTube collaborations. So I have organized a YouTube collab coming up soon, but I do think that that's going to be really important to hit that subscriber goal. It's also a really fun way for me to connect to other people that are doing like-minded, interesting things. So excited to get into that a little bit. Released 48 videos. So last month I released 4 videos, which keeps me on track. My business goals, so I'm just going to lump them all together. So my goal is to generate 4 million in revenue, and last month I did 222,000. So behind where I need to be, but that at the same time, I'm expecting growth month on month. So I'm not too worried about that number, but again, it's one of those things where I do need to make sure I'm on top of everything, really pushing that to make sure that we hit that goal. So definitely need to put some more effort in there. Reach out to 10 epic people to interview. So I reached out to Aubrey Marcus and Jesse Itzler, who are 2 of my favorite influencers. And I heard back from Jesse Itzler, who's a billionaire and an amazing human being doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So I'd love to interview him for the YouTube. And so I'll keep that dialogue going, and hopefully sometime this year we can get him on the YouTube channel. Reach out to 5 cool Melbourne people. So I reached out to 1. I want to keep doing that. It's a really nice way for me to reach out to people that I can see have interesting, similar interests to me. Maybe they're into entrepreneurship, or they're into YouTubing, or something like that. But it's a great way to expand my social network and meet like-minded people. And I'm actually meeting someone cool and entrepreneurial today. That's a new person. So exciting to keep that going and building that social network. Run a monthly event. So last month I ran a goals session, which was really fun. It's just a way to get friends together, discuss our goals, help us all be accountable. It's a great way to have that in our friendship so that we can chat to each other about what we want to work on throughout the year. Do 12 monthly challenges. Last month I did my Minimalism challenge. If you haven't checked it out, it's probably one of the most successful videos that I've done to date in such a short period of time. So it's been really exciting to see the response that that video has been getting. This month I'm doing my skateboarding challenge. Learn 4 piano pieces. So I've started learning a piano piece. I think I might need to do a monthly challenge on piano so that I can really focus on it, because it's being a bit distracted in everything else. But I have started learning a Chopin piece, which I'm really enjoying. And now there's a lot of other stuff, but I'll just pick the ones that might be interesting of last month. Read 24 books. So I read quite a few books last month. So I'll go over some of the ones that I read. I read a book called The 4 Agreements, which is, I gave 4 out of 5. It's a really good book about your personal psychology. So if that's something that you want to think about or introspect about, how you think about yourself, there's some good lessons in there. 21 lessons for the 21st century. A lot of things that are going on in the world, an interesting perspective on it, quite interesting. The First 20 Hours, which is a book about learning new skills, which you think would be interesting to me, but I actually found it nothing new in that book and not very well written, so I didn't really enjoy that book. Mastering the Market Cycle, it's a book about investing, written by Howard Marks, who's one of the best investors of our current time. It got a little bit too technical, this book, on things that as an average investor, I didn't think that they were that important to me. So it spoke a lot about economic cycle, business cycle, things like that. I think it's still interesting for me to have a base understanding of, but it's not necessarily a book I'd recommend. Rocket Fuel, which is a book about business. I quite enjoyed this book. It really talks about this idea that in every business, there's an implementer and a visionary. And so the visionary is constantly coming up with new ideas and constantly thinking about how to move the business forward and where it needs to be in the future. And the implementer is refining the visionary's ideas and really helping them exist in the business. So cool book if you're into entrepreneurship. Definitely some interesting ideas there. I read a book called Can't Hurt Me, Master Your Mind by David Goggins, which is an amazing true story about this guy, David Goggins, who's had a very interesting life. And he's really just one of those insanely disciplined, extremely hardworking human beings. So if you want some motivation, it's an interesting book and there's some lessons to take from it. I read another book called Why Buddhism is True. So I'm really interested in meditation, Buddhism, and some of the learnings from that culture. And so there's definitely some good tips around meditation and just different philosophies and ideas that I think are very practical in today's life. And it made it simple. It demystified some of Buddhism. It didn't make it overly spiritual. It took some of the strongest lessons and put it in a kind of a Western way, made it really accessible. And the last book that I read for the month is called Bad Blood, which was a book about Elizabeth Holmes, who started a company called Theranos, and it became like a multi-billion-dollar company. And she was a really young, successful CEO, and it was an amazing story, but then it turned out that it should be lying to our investors and should be lying about the product, and it became this huge scandal. So it's a really interesting story to see it all unfold. So some cool books that I read there. If any of those interest you, definitely go check them out. The last thing that I'll leave it with is some of the intentions. So I've got all these intentions. I guess one thing that I've been thinking about is spend less time with people who aren't a hell yes. So I feel quite busy at the moment. I've got my 2 businesses, my YouTube channel, my new business, my fitness goals, and all of these different goals. So I'm trying to be a little bit more disciplined to only really spend time with people that are really, exciting to me. And so there's a lot of things that are kind of pulling me in a lot of different directions. And so I really want to make sure that I'm staying on top of the things that I want to work on. And so if it's not a hell yes, then I might delay some of those catch-ups, or just really make sure that the people in my life are really the people that I'm really excited to be with. So those are my updates for month 1 of my Project Unavoidable challenge. There's a lot going on there. If you've got any questions, let me know. I want to hear how you guys are going with your goals. What are your yearly goals? Let me know. Let me know how you're going with it. Let me know if I can help you in any way. If you DM me on Instagram at Max Hertan, I will respond to every single DM that I get with a video response. So hit me up with your goals and questions, and I'd love to be part of your journey in achieving them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll give another update next month.